think it's more from CM Punk, because I think WWE would extend some sort of olive branch to him, because Vince is always about business at the end of the day. But I just think CM Punk has stuck to this so much that I think unless the day he's ever inducted to a Hall of Fame, you probably might not ever see him again for the WWE, because he does have that code. I think if anything, if he goes back to wrestling, I see him going to somewhere like New Japan and doing kind of like the Jericho gig, and kind of giving a sort of two fingers to WWE at the same time, that he can make them some money, because he still has a massive marketing name. And if I was New Japan, I would probably be putting a lot of money out, because those kind of matches that they could have over there with some of their guys could make a lot of money when you consider what Jericho did out there. There's definitely money to be made. So, but at the minute, I don't see that happening. But if I was New Japan, I would certainly be making sure I try and get in there as quick as possible, to be the only forefront wrestling company that really going to put a very substantial offer together to get him in. But we'll see what happens there. But obviously he won't. He's not going to. Let's put it this way: we're not going to not hear about him. I'm pretty sure about that. From that one, Matt. Let's just go back as well now to just sort of the fallout, the pickings of Money in the Bank. Then, because obviously that took place on Sunday, and actually I quite enjoyed the majority of the card. I'm not sure if it was the way it was paced, the fact that Roman was on a little bit earlier, and that might have helped the mood a little bit in Chicago. I certainly think I was expecting the worst for some of those guys, especially like Bobby Lashley and even Ronda. But I have to say the Chicago fans were really quite lenient with everyone. I know that they did have their Rusev chants during the Roman stuff, and they were kind of mucking around, but it was, you come to expect that now. And what did WWE expect anyway by having Jinder Mahal against Roman? Kind of meaningless kind of thing anyway. So, but yeah, Matt, what did you make of the Money in the Bank as a whole, before we sort of get into who won the briefcases, but the actual show itself?
Yeah, I think it was an alright one, actually. I mean, it was never going to compete with the NXT that was on before it, because those matches were just incredible. But it was decent enough. I think it was a bit of a shame it came off the back of that NXT, but other than that, I would have enjoyed it a bit more. And like you said, the pacing was good. I don't think they lumped it all together. I think, like you said, Roman coming out earlier did help them, because people just don't want to see him in the main event anymore, do they, really? Yeah. And the fact that they put the Money in the Bank on last was a good idea, because it put that idea out of people's minds that that it was going to be the Nakamura AJ thing, because although that it was for the heavyweight title, and a good thing, the way that match ended, if it was Nakamura winning, it would have been a bigger deal. But the fact that we've seen AJ versus Nakamura so many times now, just put to bed that feud, because that was long overdue.
yeah, absolutely. So a few big things that happened. Obviously, the women's out of both matches, Matt, what one did you like the most? The males or the females? Money in the Bank.
So I actually,
I really enjoyed that, and I know that we got some really good feedback, and everyone was asking, like, how did they manage to do such a good job? But reading up on it, they did. They took the females off the house shows that weekend, and they had them down at the Performance Centre working at all the spots, which makes perfect sense for a lot of these females, because a lot of the times these matches now that they're involved with, they the men have always been in them, but for the female talent it's kind of always a new thing. So sometimes it is best to have that extra bit of planning involved, and it certainly paid off. This was a wise choice, and yeah, like you, Matt, I totally agree. The female match was the better one. What did you make of the result of it, Matt? And I know you actually were kind of. Did you put some money on this actually, didn't you, a while ago, Matt? Was this one of the ones you must have suspected something then with Alexa?
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of an obvious result, really, because the way the Money in the Bank formula works, it always works best when a heel wins it. And then, let's be fair, in the female match, there wasn't very many heels, was there? No. So once I saw it announced, I was like, yeah, I'll go with Alexa, because just I could see her having a lot of fun with that briefcase. Although she cashed it in on the night, I'm sure she could have carried that for the next 6 months or so, bragging about it and threatening people with it, and it would just come off so well for her character. So, but her catching it in on the night, it surprised me a little bit, but I think that went down well. I think it does a good job of protecting Ronda a little bit, and she doesn't have to carry that title and look quite as exposed as she might. Because although she's doing very well picking up the wrestling, I'm sure she's got a long way to go before she's hit her peak there.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously I went with that idea. What did you make of the Ronda Rousey Nia Jax match up until the point where the cash-in come, Matt? What was you making of that? Because for me, I was thinking it was a bit... Yeah, I wanted to see Ronda... I know people might disagree, and I'm sure Ronda she wants to be one of the... She just wants to be sort of part of everybody, and I know that. But I think in her case, they kind of... I would have preferred it if they didn't have... if they just had her a little bit more sort of not selling as much, and just being a bit of a badass that she is, and just going in there and wrecking like a wrecking machine, really. But I get where they were going, and I know it's you've got to go through those stages, but I thought there was a lot too much of it maybe during the match. There was a lot of moments where she was not getting the upper hand, and basically until the end, really. But what did you make of the actual way it went down, and then the idea, Matt, of having, like you say, Alexa coming in? Was that the right thing to do on the night, or would you have rather have seen it sort of escalate a little bit more between Nia and Alexa Bliss?
No, I think it was the right thing to do in the end. I didn't mind the match too much, to be fair. I felt like, even though Nia is not known for carrying a match too well, she did quite well at leading that one. And the fact that she was dominating Ronda quite a lot of the time was quite surprising. So it I was enjoying that I was not given something that I would just assume was going to happen and just follow it pace by pace. I like that they were changing it up that way, and it does a good job of helping Nia as well, because a lot of people assumed that she was going to walk in there and get destroyed, like you said, but it's built her character up a little bit more. So for the next coming months or so, she's going to look good by trying to get that title back as a dominant kind of heel, or if but we don't know what she is, face, heel. Now Alexa Bliss is champion, probably face again, who knows. But yes, it's done a good job of making her look strong, and I feel like they did it right, because like I said before, Ronda's got a long way to go before she's hit her peak. We know she's still learning the ropes, and funny enough, she fell through the ropes. But that's another thing. But I feel like she'll get there in the end, and it was good that we saw she was about to win it anyway. We had that image when she had that armbar on. We know how dangerous that armbar is, and that's what it's become about now. But it would be good to see how she develops in further matches. I just wish she'd get more matches, because the way they're doing it now, they're giving her a Brock type deal where we only see her every few months. I feel like we'd see a lot more progression with her in front of the camera, and she'd pick it up faster if she was working some Raw shows. Yeah.
Well, I will. I mean, I don't mind her not wrestling on Raw and stuff like that, only because I think that sometimes, like, I wish everyone had the kind of deal Brock had sometimes, like New Japan did, because I don't know, you can just wear things out sometimes too quick. I swear the only reason that Brock's so over like he is most times is because we don't get to see him an awful lot. But she's definitely working on the house shows, that much I do know. But so I'd keep her going strong on that. But I'm not really too disappointed that she's... I mean, the thing is with that match, I think that they were thinking in their head, whoever she fights first, they've got to make it like a box office kind of thing, and why not try and sell a pay-per-view on it? But I just felt Nia would have been the wrong choice. I would have preferred it if it was like a kind of student versus teacher kind of match between her and Natalya or Mickie James or something like that going into that show. But they've thrown her out there very, very fast. And Matt, talk about the other women's match now, just to get this in there. Asuka against Carmella. Of course, the return of the unsung hero himself, James Ellsworth's back, and of course did get that news that he was pulled from China, and WWE must have really wanted him, Matt, because he was there and he's back by all intensive purposes. So, what did you make of that match? I hate it, Matt, where the babyface looks stupid. And, like, I want to see heels like that. I don't mind heels, but when it's your baby face, it really annoys me, because I'm like, come on. What the hell? What was going on? So she saw something dressed up like she is. She's standing there. It took way too long, and then the reveal itself. Okay, that's shocking, but I don't know why she would care so much that it's James Ellsworth. I have no idea. And yeah, the crazy wink, and that was kind of the match put to bed. But I mean, ridiculous, really. But I've got to say, Matt, you talk about how to mess things up very quickly. WWE seem to have done a very good job with that with Asuka, don't they, at the minute?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how they can mess this up. How can you not? I mean, when we watched that Hardy's 24, we saw how they snuck them into WrestleMania of all things, and people knew Ellsworth was coming a week before he got there.
Yeah.
So how did they screw that up?
Yeah.
If it was supposed to be a big reveal and they hid him and put him in those clothes and everything, made an effort at least. But God, that. If you was looking up online anything, you knew that was coming.
Obviously, the only person that didn't look up online was Asuka. Which makes the whole thing so daft, doesn't it, really? You could have played it two ways and been like, I read it.
It was never going to be the best match. I mean, we know Carmella's, not on Asuka's level, and, that was sort of apparent to see. Yeah. But when you look at her, all these people that Asuka's defeated and everything, and you think about how tough she was, they're just making a joke of it now, that she can get beaten just like that, Last year she would have kicked out of that, straight away. And not only did they have a tap out to Charlotte, she was unpinned until recently now, but now that record's gone as well. So it's all just falling apart for her, and I can't see good things happening, because for me, after a loss like that, it's like back of the queue now, and that's not really where you want to see her.
Yeah, I really think she's back of the queue as well, because I can see at some point, Matt, that Shayna Baszler coming up and almost taking her spot in that sort of character role. So she's in a lot of bother. But again, this is WWE's own fault. I really, the thing is with the match at WrestleMania, when they positioned Charlotte, I thought, well, okay, they're really making a statement, as Booker T would say, a statement, bro. Yeah, they're putting her out on maybe for a fix for next year. So okay, they've chosen their person, Charlotte. But after the whole thing with the Money in the Bank, and I know she cashed it in and all the rest of it, but I just thought that was way too soon, and now it just all looks ridiculous now. Asuka's Royal Rumble win, it's just it's almost like we've forgotten all about it, all that momentum that she had. And the other thing is that I'm kind of more concerned about is the way whoever the hell's writing her lines, they need to do stuff a little bit more adventurous, be a little bit more creative, because that's getting a little bit tiring as well, I feel. They need to take maybe a leaf out of Shinsuke's heel turn. Maybe that's what she'll end up happening, but a bit of a shame really, for both of them. Actually, they're both sort of in that same position. So Matt, towards obviously the end of the show, the men's Money in the Bank, I got to say I wasn't overly joyed that it was Braun Strowman. Nothing against Braun Strowman, but I just didn't think he was. He wouldn't have been my choice. I think there were a lot more other guys that could have ran with it, could have made something of it if they were given the opportunity. Maybe you don't have too many plans for the person that wins it straight away, but then over time you can get a little bit of momentum, and it can make a guy as well. So in this case, Matt, I think we both would agree, and I think most of our listeners, that Braun Strowman is very much over and has been over. He's probably more and more losing credibility every moment he does not compete up against Lesnar at the minute, because you've got Roman in the place. But are you now expecting, Matt, like most other people that are emailing me at the minute, it's going to be Roman versus Lesnar, Braun cashes the Money in the Bank in?
Yeah, it kind of feels that way, but that's kind of a shame, because the way that Braun's character is he used to always say, I want competition. So to come in and just cash it in that way doesn't sit well with his character. I would assume that he would say, I'm going to cash it in at this pay-per-view because I want to go one-on-one with Brock Lesnar, which is a bit of a shame that he won't then. The only positive I can see coming from it is if he cashes it in at the start of the match and turns it into a triple threat like Seth Rollins kind of did halfway through the thing.
Yeah, no, you're right. But we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, a little bit disappointing. I'd have liked it if Joe had got it or something, or Owens. I don't know. Even my God, Bobby Roode could